trapped hundreds of meters underground with water rising, oxygen running out, and every second counting. These are the most insane cave rescues in history. Welcome to The Final Cry, the channel that dives deep into humanity's most extreme survival stories. Today we're counting down 20 of the most jaw-dropping cave rescues ever recorded, from miraculous escapes to tragic losses. If you love suspense, extreme survival, and stories of human courage, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a single story. Case 1. Tham Luang Cave Rescue, Thailand, 2018. Imagine being trapped deep underground with water rising faster than you can think, darkness swallowing you whole, and every second counting against your survival. In June 2018, 12 boys aged 11 to 16 and their football coach ventured into the Tham Luang Nangnon Cave in northern Thailand. What began as a fun adventure quickly became a nightmare. Monsoon rains surged, flooding the cave and cutting off their exit. The boys were stranded nearly 2 kilometers inside, trapped in muddy waters, cold, and darkness. The Thai authorities immediately launched a massive rescue operation, but the challenge was staggering. The cave's passages were narrow, twisting, and partially submerged. International cave diving experts, including volunteers from the UK, Australia, and the US, joined the effort. Pumping water, laying oxygen lines, and carefully navigating underwater tunnels, the rescuers faced dangerous conditions, including strong currents and unstable rocks. After more than 2 weeks underground, each boy was brought out using a risky combination of diving gear, harnesses, and stretcher navigation. Miraculously, all 12 boys and their coach survived. The rescue captivated the world and became a symbol of courage, ingenuity, and hope. Yet it was not without tragedy. Saman Kunan, a former Thai Navy SEAL, died delivering oxygen to the cave. The Tham Luang rescue highlighted the delicate balance between human determination and nature's overwhelming power. It became a blueprint for modern cave rescues and a case study in international cooperation. But while this story ended with triumph, some of the world's most notorious cave rescues tell a far darker tale. Next, we travel to Germany, where an injured spelunker faced nearly impossible odds deep underground. Case 2. Riesending Cave Rescue, Germany, 2014. A single misstep nearly turned a hobby into a death sentence. In 2014, a 52-year-old German caver, Johann Westhauser, fell and fractured his leg over 1,000 meters deep in Riesending Cave, Bavaria's largest cave system. His injury made walking impossible, and the narrow, twisting passages left him stranded in near-total darkness. Rescue teams faced a dilemma: how to reach a severely injured person through kilometers of vertical shaft, tight crawl spaces, and deep underground rivers. The operation became one of the largest and most complex cave rescues in history. Over 700 personnel from 6 countries, including cave divers, medics, engineers, and volunteers, mobilized. Rescuers used specially designed stretchers to carry Johann through the treacherous, winding passages. Teams rotated continuously, braving exhaustion, cold, and mud. The mission spanned 11 grueling days and required extreme coordination, precise timing, and immense courage. Against the odds, Johann was successfully transported to the surface and treated for his injuries. The Riesending rescue demonstrated the limits of human endurance and the extraordinary lengths people will go to save one life. While Johann survived thanks to meticulous planning and international teamwork, not all cave entrapments end with survival. In 1925, a single man in the United States became trapped and turned into a national tragedy. Case 3. Floyd Collins, Asher Sand Cave, USA, 1925. He was a man trapped by fate and stone, with the nation watching every move. Floyd Collins, an experienced cave explorer, entered Sand Cave in Kentucky in January 1925, seeking new passages. Suddenly, a rock dislodged and pinned him in an impossible position deep underground. For days, he remained stuck, unable to move, without food or water. News of his plight spread nationwide, and journalists flocked to the site. Despite heroic attempts to free him, including digging, drilling, and even blasting, Floyd remained trapped. The rescue became a media spectacle, with crowds camping for days and even circus-like sideshows emerging. Unfortunately, after 17 days of being pinned, Floyd Collins succumbed to thirst and exposure. His body was eventually recovered, but the story left a lasting impact on cave safety and rescue protocols. Floyd's tragedy underscored how even skilled cavers can fall victim to unpredictable cave hazards and how human curiosity sometimes collides with nature's unforgiving power. From a historic American tragedy, we turn to a more recent event in India, where ingenuity and teamwork saved a young man trapped in dangerous underground depth. Case 4. Guna Caves Rescue, India, 2006. When a young man disappears into the earth, the clock becomes the enemy. In 2006, a 19-year-old in India fell into Guna Cave, known for its dangerous vertical shafts and history of accidents. His friend immediately alerted authorities, who quickly assembled a team of local rescue workers and caving experts. The rescue faced multiple challenges. The cave was unstable, with sudden drop-offs and water-filled chambers, and heavy rainfall threatened to worsen the situation. Rescuers improvised with ropes, harnesses, and makeshift ladders. Volunteers navigated treacherous tunnels, sometimes squeezing through passages passages barely wider than a person. After several tense hours, they located the young man in a chamber far deeper than anyone expected. Exhausted but alive, he was carefully lifted to safety. The operation became a testament to courage, improvisation, and the human instinct to save others under extreme conditions. It also served as a warning for adventurers to respect natural hazard. But even with careful planning, some cave rescues pushed the limits of modern caving technology, as the next story from Wales demonstrates. Case 5. Ogof Ffynnon Ddu Rescue, Wales, 2021. Trapped far beneath the surface, an injured caver's life hung by a rope in the courage of strangers. In late 2021, an experienced caver was injured deep inside Ogof Ffynnon Ddu, one of Wales' most challenging cave systems. The rescue operation began immediately, involving a team of local volunteers, cave rescue specialists, and medical personnel. The team had to navigate a labyrinth of narrow tunnels, vertical drops, and water hazards. The injured caver, immobilized by his injuries, relied entirely on the rescuers. Teams coordinated rotations to move him on a stretcher, carefully squeezing through tight passages, often only one person wide. After 57 hours of relentless effort, the caver was finally brought to the surface. He received medical attention and survived, largely due to the skill, bravery, and coordination of the rescuers. This rescue highlighted the dangers of modern cave exploration, the importance of training, and the extraordinary feats that humans can achieve when lives are on the line. From Wales, we now venture into France, where a flood trapped multiple cavers for over 10 days, testing every ounce of human endurance and problem-solving. Case 6. French Viderelles Cave Rescue, France, 1999. 7 cavers, trapped in darkness for over 10 days. Their only hope was human ingenuity against nature's fury. In 1999, a group of 7 cavers exploring Viderelles Cave in southern France became trapped when sudden flooding blocked their exit. The narrow passages were already challenging, but torrential rain turned the cave into a labyrinth of rising water and slick rock. Communication with the outside world was limited to tapping signals and makeshift lines, leaving rescuers in suspense over the fate of the explorers. Rescue teams worked tirelessly, using drills, pumps, and ropes to reach the stranded cavers. The situation demanded precision and patience. Any wrong move could have triggered rockfalls or drowned the explorers. The cavers endured cramped conditions, low temperatures, and near starvation. Remarkably, they maintained morale, sharing water, rationing food, and supporting one another mentally. After 10 harrowing days, rescuers reached the group and slowly escorted them to safety. Each step of the extraction was fraught with risk, requiring absolute trust between the cavers and rescuers. The French Viderelles rescue became a study in human endurance, strategic problem-solving, and teamwork under extreme conditions. While the Viderelles cavers survived a 10-day nightmare in the UK, another team faced a similarly terrifying ordeal, but this time, they were at the mercy of a sudden flood. Case 7. Sleetsgill Cave Flood Rescue, UK, 1992. Water surged faster than anyone could move. Trapped in a tunnel with zero visibility, hope became their only lifeline. In 1992, a team of cavers exploring Sleetsgill in northern England encountered unexpected rising waters. The normally navigable cave passages transformed into treacherous submerged tunnels. Several of the team were inexperienced in diving, while others were pinned by debris and water pressure. Rescue divers were called in to navigate through darkness, strong currents, and narrow passages. They employed guide ropes, specialized breathing equipment, and precise coordination to ensure each trapped person could be escorted safely. Some passages were so tight that rescuers had to remove parts of their gear to squeeze through. After tense hours of calculated maneuvering, all trapped cavers were freed. The operation emphasized not only technical skill, but also the importance of quick thinking, bravery, and calm under pressure. It also reshaped UK caving safety practices, particularly regarding flood risk. From the UK's flooded passages, we now travel to Kentucky, where sudden underground floods tested the resilience of amateur cavers in 1983. Case 8. Kentucky Flood Rescue, USA, 1983. A sudden rush of water trapped explorers where the ceiling felt like it could fall at any moment. Survival seemed impossible. In 1983, a group of amateur cavers in Kentucky found themselves trapped by rapidly rising waters in a previously dry cave. Panic quickly set in as the cave began to fill with water, leaving the group disoriented and struggling to breathe. Some of the passages were barely navigable even in calm conditions. Now, every movement was life-threatening. Rescue teams, including divers and spelunking experts, coordinated a delicate extraction. They navigated water-filled passages, using guide ropes and improvised flotation devices, all while monitoring the ever-rising water levels. One misstep could have meant disaster. After 2 tense days, every caver was brought to safety, alive but shaken. This incident highlighted how quickly caves can shift from adventure playgrounds to deadly traps and underscored the necessity of preparation and professional guidance. While Kentucky cavers survived thanks to expert intervention, some rescues require out-of-the-box solutions, as seen when a teen in the US got wedged in an impossible spot. Case 9. Duffield Pretzel Cave Lubrication Rescue, USA, 2000. Imagine being stuck so tightly in stone that even breathing is a struggle, and your only hope is a strange, slippery solution. In 2000, Ireland, a teenager exploring Duffield Pretzel Cave in the United States became wedged in a narrow limestone passage. Conventional rescue methods failed as the tight space left no room to maneuver. Time was critical. The boy risked asphyxiation or injury if extraction was delayed. Rescuers improvised. They applied cooking oil to the limestone walls, reducing friction enough to carefully slide the teen out. The operation demanded extreme precision, patience, and nerves of steel. After several hours of careful maneuvering, the teenager was finally freed with minor injuries, a story that would become legendary in caving circles for its ingenuity. While creative thinking saved this teen, not all cave incidents end with such miraculous solutions. Some caves claim lives, serving as grim reminders of their hidden dangers, as the next story shows in Schroeder's Pants Cave. Case 10. Schroeder's Pants Cave, Mitchell Recovery, USA, 1965 and 2006. The cave swallowed him, and for decades the darkness kept him hidden. Schroeder's Pants Cave, infamous in the United States, was the site of multiple caving incidents, but one in 1965 became particularly haunting. A hypothermia victim, caught in a waterfall pit deep underground, was unreachable by conventional rescue methods. Dangerous currents, narrow vertical shafts, and unstable rock made the cave virtually impossible to navigate safely. Despite repeated attempts, rescuers could not safely reach the victim. Decades later, in 2006, efforts to recover the body finally succeeded, though only under extreme caution and with specialized teams. The incident highlighted the long-term risks of cave exploration and the unforgiving nature of these subterranean labyrinths. From historical tragedies like Schroeder's Pants, we now return to Europe, where even modern cavers are tested by danger, endurance, and the clock. Next, we journey to Ireland for a tense, hours-long entrapment. Case 11. Neil Moss Incident. Peak Cavern, UK, 1959. A student trapped so deep, the cave itself became a tomb. In 1959, 19-year-old Neil Moss, an experienced young caver, descended into Peak Cavern in Derbyshire, England, seeking a challenging adventure. Unfortunately, he became wedged in a narrow vertical shaft, no way to move up or down. Rescue teams arrived quickly, but the cave's tight passages and steep vertical drops made extraction nearly impossible. Hours turned into days as rescuers tried to free him. Every attempt risked dislodging rocks or worsening Neil's position. Despite careful planning and international advice, the caving authorities faced a grim reality. Attempting to pull him free could have caused further collapse, endangering everyone. Ultimately, Neil Moss perished, his body left in place to avoid additional risk. The incident shocked the caving community and led to stricter cave safety protocols, including mandatory buddy systems and specialized rescue training. Neil's story remains one of the most haunting examples of a cave claiming a life despite every effort to save it. Moss's tragic death serves as a chilling reminder that caves spare no one. In 1967, a similar danger struck the UK again, this time with multiple fatalities in Mossdale Caverns. Case 12. Mossdale Caverns Flood Disaster, UK, 1967. A sudden surge of water turned exploration into a fight for survival. Mossdale Caverns in Yorkshire, England is notorious for its unpredictable floods. In 1967, a team of cavers entered the system during heavy rains, unaware of the impending danger. Within hours, flash floods trapped them deep inside, with water levels rising rapidly. Narrow tunnels became submerged, air pockets shrank, and escape seemed impossible. Rescue efforts were hampered by the treacherous conditions. Even trained divers could not safely reach the victims without risking additional lives. Tragically, all 6 cavers inside Mossdale Caverns perished. The disaster sent shockwaves through the UK caving community, sparking a review of safety protocols, including flood risk assessment and communication systems. Mossdale remains a solemn reminder of nature's unpredictability and the ultimate stakes of cave exploration. From the Mossdale tragedy, we move to a more recent American incident where a spelunker's upside down. Entrapment turned a routine exploration into a nightmare. Case 13. Nutty Putty Cave. Entrapment, USA, 2009. Stuck upside down, unable to move, trapped with time running out. In 2009, John Edward Jones, an experienced spelunker, ventured into Utah's infamous Nutty Putty Cave. Known for its narrow passages and tight squeezes, the cave posed extreme challenges. Deep inside, John became trapped upside down in a crevice, unable to free himself. Rescue teams worked for nearly 28 hours, carefully trying to maneuver him free. Every attempt risked further injury or suffocation. Despite the best efforts of specialized cave rescuers, John could not be saved. He tragically died inside the cave, leading authorities to permanently seal Nutty Putty as a memorial. This heartbreaking case became a stark warning about the dangers of underestimating narrow cave systems, even for experienced explorers. From a tragic American loss, we turn to Ireland, where quick thinking and teamwork prevented a potentially deadly outcome in a 2025 entrapment. Case 14. Irish Cave Entrapment with Hot Point, Ireland, 2025. Hours trapped underground, every second colder than the last, survival depended on ingenuity. In early 2025, a man exploring a cave in Fermanagh, Ireland, became trapped after a narrow passage collapsed. Exhausted and isolated, he faced hypothermia as rescuers devised a plan. Volunteers created a temporary hot point using body heat and insulated materials, while engineers prepared a bypass route to safely extract him. The rescue required precision, coordination, and patience. Teams took turns maneuvering through tight passages, often in complete darkness, ensuring the trapped man remained stable. After several tense hours, the operation succeeded. The man emerged exhausted but unharmed, thanks to the creative thinking of the rescue teams and the courage of volunteers who risked their own safety. From Ireland, we now travel to the United States, where multiple cavers became trapped in Devil's Den, testing both endurance and technical skill. Case 15, Devil's Den, Narrows Cave Entrapments, USA, various years. Some caves are silent killers, swallowing explorers in their winding labyrinths. Devil's Den in the US has long been a site of peril for cavers. Over several decades, multiple entrapments occurred, often in narrow crevices where a single misstep could trap a person completely. In one instance, a novice caver slipped into a tight narrows, unable to move, while water levels began to rise slowly. In another, experienced spelunkers became disoriented, forcing rescuers to navigate complex passages to find them. Rescue teams often employed ropes, specialized stretchers, and careful planning, sometimes spending over 24 hours underground to bring trapped cavers to safety. Not all incidents ended well. Some resulted in minor injuries, while others became permanent reminders of the risks. These repeated entrapments demonstrate that even well-known caves remain unpredictable, and that preparation, skill, and teamwork are critical to survival. From the Devil's Den, we return to the US, where a caver trapped in breakdown passages required a daring extraction in Island Ford Cave. Case 16, Island Ford Cave, Stranding, USA, 2004. Trapped in darkness, with only a fragile rope between life and death. In 2004, a caver exploring Island Ford Cave in the United States became trapped in a breakdown chamber, a section where rocks had collapsed and blocked normal passages. Alone and disoriented, he faced the risk of hypothermia and falling debris. His partner alerted authorities, and a specialized rescue team mobilized. The rescue was painstaking. Rescuers navigated through unstable rock, moving carefully to avoid triggering additional collapses. Using ropes and improvised pulleys, they slowly extracted the trapped caver, who emerged shaken but alive. The incident highlighted the unpredictability of collapse zones and reinforced the need for careful mapping, planning, and communication in cave exploration. While Island Ford's entrapment ended with a successful rescue, other caves have swallowed explorers more permanently, like the Lost Fossil Cave collapse. Case 17, Lost Fossil Cave Collapse, USA, 2004. One wrong step, and the Earth itself can seal your fate. Also in 2004, a caver exploring Lost Fossil Cave became trapped after a partial collapse blocked the exit. The tight, unstable chamber prevented self-rescue, and communication with the surface was extremely limited. Rescue teams carefully dug and cleared debris, employing ropes and harnesses to stabilize the cave while extracting the individual. After hours of slow, delicate work, the caver was freed. The incident highlighted the danger of unstable cave sections and the critical role of methodical rescue planning. From collapsed caves, we now descend into water-filled chambers, where zero visibility turns every dive into a life-or-death gamble. Case 18, Twin Caves Underwater, Zero Visibility Scare, USA, 2012. Imagine diving into pitch-black water, where every movement stirs silt and disorients you completely. In 2012, a family of divers entered Twin Caves, an underwater cave in the United States. While exploring, they accidentally stirred the sediment, instantly reducing visibility to zero. Panic set in as they lost orientation. With the exit far out of sight, rescue divers were called in. They navigated using guidelines and experience, locating each family member one by one. The trapped divers relied on air pockets and calm under pressure, while rescuers moved methodically to avoid dislodging rocks or stirring more silt. After tense hours, the family emerged safely. This incident became a textbook example of the dangers of underwater cave diving, showing that even experienced divers can be humbled by nature. While the Twin Caves divers survived, some underwater explorations have ended tragically, like the Shaft cave diving accident in Australia. Case 19, the Shaft cave diving accident, Australia, 1973. Trapped in a submerged sinkhole with air running out, there's no margin for error. In 1973, scuba divers explored an underwater shaft cave in Mount Gambier, Australia. Unaware of the extreme depths and narrow passages, they became lost while running low on air. The rescue operation was dangerous and complicated, requiring specialized cave diving techniques. Tragically, multiple divers lost their lives during the incident. This disaster prompted a global reevaluation of cave diving safety standards, including the use of guidelines, redundant air systems, and training specific to underwater cave environments. From the tragic Shaft Cave incident, we move to one of the most mysterious cave disappearances, the Vortex Spring Diver, where hope and uncertainty collided. Case 20, Vortex Spring Diver Missing Case, USA, 2010. Vanished into the depths, a diver, a cave, and 36 days of uncertainty. In 2010, a diver exploring Vortex Spring in Florida disappeared inside the cave system. Despite an extensive 36-day search, no trace of the diver was found. Rescue and recovery efforts included divers, sonar scans, and mapping the intricate underwater tunnels, but the cave's complexity and hazards prevented success. The mystery remains unsolved, a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers lurking in caves, and how even well-equipped and experienced explorers can be swallowed by these underground labyrinths. These 20 stories, from miraculous escapes to tragic losses, show that caves demand respect, preparation, and courage. From Thailand to the United States, these caves have tested the limits of human courage, endurance, and ingenuity. Some returned to the surface, forever changed. Others were claimed by the darkness below. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the most insane cave rescues ever. If these stories kept your heart racing, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to dive deeper into humanity's most extreme survival tales. And remember, whether above ground or below, respect nature. It doesn't forgive mistakes.